So I thought about to take the time to do a bit of a video. I've been getting a few questions about what I've been up to lately, and yeah, this thing's been parked up for probably over a year again. But I've previously posted a few videos. I think I labelled it under Matt's Buggy, something like that. And yeah, this is pretty much a completed build, but it's going to get reworked. So I figured I'd explain where I'm at. Probably even might as well introduce what it is. My mates have lovingly called it GALVATRON. That was because I was stupid enough to use structural galv NB tube. So, sorry, pipe I should call it. Get all the haters loving it properly. But it's actually held up really well. This side was all under an undercut wall, leaning over this way, and there's some impact marks, no damage, but yeah. It sort of got me to the point where I'm actually at the point where I need to fix it up anyway, so it's going to be a big job. But yeah, the build itself, rear mounted 6.5 litre Chev diesel, turbo, eBay turbo, go China. Probably not a good idea putting the motor in the back, but hey, it's done now. Behind that, is a Turbo 700. That's out of a Camaro, and all I did is just change the governor so it can change gears quicker, earlier revs. Behind that is a Dobbin Engineering 5:1 planetary reduction box. It's an amazing bit of gear. Ironically though, I don't use it. MP205 twin stick transfer case. Yes, I did put them upside down. It is tight in there. Not much room for anything. And while I'm here, the horrible electrics, that's all's got to go. It's nothing ideal there. It's all water damage now anyway. Not only that, but just having a few little faults and stuff that will start to come into the system. So that'll get all relocated. Dana 60 diffs, RCV axles, King shocks on the front. I do have King shocks to come in the back. That's part of the rebuild plan anyway. 4-tube bypass air shock, 16-inch travel, 2.5-inch diameter. Amazing shocks for what I'm doing. Wouldn't exactly go off-road racing in them, but actually I probably would. I'm dumb enough to do that. The electrics, I'm running 24 volt. That was just a simplicity thing. Try to keep down the weight. I've got 2 batteries under the front there, and to get any 12 volt stuff I need, I'm actually using a 24 volt down to 13.8 volt reducer. That's good for about 120 amps. So that powers anything I need for this stage. But during the rebuild, that'll all get swapped around and fixed up to 24 volt anyway. Low mount winch, Runva, EWX 9500, the Q model. From memory, I think it's the 110 to 1 ratio gearbox. The medium speed, but obviously I'm running on 24 volt, and I've made up a little bit of a situation there so I can run a bit more rope. That runs quite quickly, it's good, I like it. Yeah, sitting on its bump stops here, getting ready to start the next part of the process. What else have I missed? I built myself a remote mounted Hydro Boost, so I was using the CNC brakes, straight to front, straight to rear, 2 separate ones, but I decided to go Hydro Boost and didn't have enough room out there. By the time the tyre turns right in and almost touches that link, not much room there at all. So under the seat there for the passenger, remote mounted Hydro Boost. I was in such a hurry I didn't even cut the brackets off the eBay one, so that'll all get tidied up, part of the build. What else we got? Cutting brakes, auto shifter, transfer case shifters. It actually looks like a lot going on, but it's so smooth to work because when you're driving it, your hand's under there and drive, and you just straight up, just like a musical operation. Air locker valves, front and rear. ARB air-locked diffs, I should have mentioned before. The width, if you haven't picked it, that's a 45 series grill, narrowed down. If you haven't picked it, it's kind of like a Jeep width diff, Dana 60, and from the outside to the outside of the traps, was 2 meters and 30. So it's pretty narrow. It's at about 80 inches, I think it is, from memory. So it's very narrow for what it is. Yeah, 2 compressors, just trying to keep things running sweet. That was another. Basically, that's where I'm at with the point of this thing, is just there's so much crap that's tacked on. It's time to do a big reset and cut it all out and get it done right. Yeah, the 6.5 goes all right for what it is. Probably not ideal to have it so far back, given the weight balance so far back, but yeah. I did fit a turbo, eBay. It was good of them to write turbone on it. I think it's running about 20 pound boost or something. I don't really care. I don't look at it. That's just going to keep going until it dies. Sway away to 2.0 air shocks in the back. They hate it. Too much weight. That's why they're getting changed out. It'll be going to King shocks. That's my alternator there for the 24 volt. What else haven't I covered? Good old tractor. Tractors have got to have rain caps. I'd start it up, you wouldn't be able to hear me. Stupid piece, whatever it is. What else? Hydraulic steer. The wheels do tuck all the way back into where that link is, so get a lot of movement out of them. Tyres even come up and can rub on there, so very, very narrow, difficult to build with. Yeah. So where we're at now is in Western Australia. We've got a small little bit of a niche little comp thing going on, and the rules have recently just changed so that the guys, you know, basically want to lift the standards, which is awesome. Start getting a few more better builds out of us, and yeah, I'm at the point anyway where mine is that dented in and beaten and bruised that it needs to be replaced anyway. So I've come up with a solution which will be basically for this one. There's still a few little bugs and stuff I have to work out, especially fitting the new big shocks in the back. It may not work out the way I want. So the plan is at this stage is just to cut and leave everything sitting where it is. Keep that rail there, but cut, and cut it all the way through here. And then basically treat the bottom section like you would for a regular car. And that'll be essentially a chassis, which the NV tube should take the beating underneath a bit better, and then the top will be 1 3/4" CDS tube. I'll just try to follow what I've already got, keep the same width and profile and shape and whatever. It is what I built myself anyway, so it's sort of nice to keep it looking the way it does. Where else are we at? So this is what I've got to get rid of. That was just tacked on after a weekend full driving, sand dunes, and the small radiator that was it fit perfectly, but it was just horrible, didn't keep it cool. So that's an 80 series radiator with twin thermo fans on it, and this is all just tacked on. Just I've had a phone call from one of my mates, let's go. So, oh shit, my radio's not even in there, so that was that. Hacked it on there, that'll all get fixed up, part of this rebuild process. Fix all the damage. Yeah. Missing a drive shaft at the moment. Last trip out, I was given some bad juju. We were all joking about that centre bearing setup I've got. It's actually out of a Hyundai XL. It's a wheel hub. You know, at the time I thought that'd be strong enough, you know. But I managed to snap. That's the CV. I snapped it. So that'll get fixed up. That's about it really. I mean, hopefully be able to set up the bumps in the back. I've had them running quite long just to try help with the weight of these shocks. They didn't like it. Try get it all set up a bit better and see how we go. 42-inch treps, speed locked obviously. Can't beat the sticky compound.